Buff, when you look back on it, and maybe not an exact moment, but just a time period, when do you think it started? Now that you can see it maybe clearer from that 50,000 foot view or whatever it is, when did it?
I,
When do you look back now when it started getting out of control for you?
I really did. It was, throughout the early '90s, a great leash is what I call it was WCW. You can't have a better leash than a great job that pays great money, and WCW was that leash. So we dabbled and we had pills and we took pills, but literally, I don't think I had my own prescription of pills until I broke my neck. I broke my neck in April of '98. And when I did that, I remember getting Lortabs and Somas. And when I look back on that, that is definitely the start of my addiction.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was that leash is what kept the addiction away and kept us, functioning addicts. But when that set in, that was actually the start of me going, me starting to get my pills and making sure every 30 days I had enough and whether you were short. And that's when the counting and money was no problem for me or Brian, but at that stage. And so that was not a problem, but keeping up with doctors in 30 days and this pharmacy and that doctor, man, it was just such a juggling act. It was just brutal. But that's when mine started, because the big thing with drug addicts are you want to be able to say, I'm not doing anything wrong. And that's what I was able to do, because I was Buff Bagwell. I was rich. I had a mansion. I had the cars. I had my motorcycles. I was in shape to the umph degree. I had no thing that wasn't done properly. So it's time to get messed up. That's what it does. It gives you the okay. So there's no shame. You can't beat yourself up over nothing to beat yourself up over. I've got it licked. I'm doing well. So I can do this and not beat myself up over it. And that's what happened. It was my parents. My mom saw that I had a problem, of course, and she was like, my dad was called Big Steve. She's like, Big Steve, you gotta talk to Mark. You gotta tell him. And he's like, what do you mean to say to him? He looks great. He's rich. He's a pro wrestler on TV. His oil changes are perfect on his cars. His motorcycles just got washed. He goes, and we work for him.
Yeah.
What do you mean say to him? You're doing wrong?
What shall I say?
What am I going to tell the kid?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they tried to show me how much money I was spending, and that didn't work. So it just kind of went away till finally when WCW leash was off. That's when it was wide open, man. That's when depression from WCW being gone and independence started, man. And it just, from that point on, man, it was kind of like a reckless, train that I held on to the best I could, man. But it just was in and out of rehab after that. I did 4 or 5 rehabs. But this time, like Brian said, man, it was time. I was ready to be sober this time. So when you're ready, you're never going to get sober until you're ready yourself. No matter what you're trying to do it for, money's not enough, a job's not enough, your wife is not enough, your life is not enough. But when you're ready, that is enough.